What's up, guys? We're back here at Archeworld. Let's talk about the labor potions as they finally seem to have shattered the 3.0 price range. So they have gone up to 5.0 today as the highest sales, and we've kind of anticipated this upward trend. Can't really see it on the graph too much yet. You see this slow 7-day average kind of creeping up. It dipped down a little bit. We'll see where this goes, but as of now, we're at 3.2 for labor potions, which makes owning small lands even better. Like, this is a great thing for small lands, medium lands, and the smaller land types. Is this labor price going up? But could it go a lot higher? This is where we're looking at. So apparently, I think on Asia, it's around 5 BSLT for a labor potion. I'm not 100% certain on this. This is secondhand data. Haven't checked in over there, but I've heard that it's around 5 BSLT for labor potion. So could we get up to that 5 BSLT? And I think the answer is yes. Let's go into why. So if we take a look at the chart down at the bottom here, when the price started to spike up, you can see the highs on the days. So we go back 2 weeks. So the highest here was 8.7. The next day, the highest was 9.9. This coincided, I believe, with the introduction of the Tier 6 weapons and armors being transferred over, and then also the new player coming over who was spending lots and lots of labor to upgrade his cape and progress his character, ancestral levels, the tokens he needed, and things like that. So this, I believe, was him just gobbling everything up, didn't care. The next day, the highest price was 7 BSLT. Next day, 7 BSLT for the high price, 4.4. So it seems like he has slowly stopped his craze. 3.5, 3.3, and so forth, back down. We have a spike here of 6.9 and 3.3. So to me, what this is saying is that he spent all his money for the first couple of days being on the server here. He was already here earlier, but he now has his tier 6 weapons and armors, so he was ready to spend and just go ham. He needed a lot of labor points to progress and skyrocketed the price, probably buying out the auction house at certain times of days and waiting slowly for the labor potions to come back down, buying them out once again. Once he was done with purchasing all of those labor potions, the labor market kind of settled back down into that 2.5 to 3.5 range is what we saw here. There was one sporadic day where someone picked up a labor potion for 6.9. Could have been a fat finger, someone misclicking, or he could have come in and bought out the labor market. But as you'll see here, the volume that was sold on that day is incredibly light compared to the other ones, which means most likely it was a fat finger and someone probably bought that. Next up, then it went back to 3.3 as the high, now 4.8, and so we're slowly creeping up here. 7.0 once again in the high, 3.3, and a lot of volume here. A lot of labor potions have been sold, and then 3.3 as the high, all the way down as the 1.5 here on the low. So somebody really undervalued their labor potions. And then now today, we already have a high of 5.0 and a low of 1.45, which is kind of surprising. But it does lead me to believe that the trend is going to continue moving upwards. There are players who are progressing their character, who are upgrading, who are using lots and lots of labor. And then on top of that, the Archeum processing machines are starting to become grand, starting to become rare in some houses. You'll notice that there are a lot more of those popping up, which means they are consuming more labor than they are generating when they have upgraded those machines. So labor price probably will continue to rise. It will probably continue to rise until we get an event from XL Games that introduces cheaper or free-ish labor. And when I talk about an event like that, the last event that we had was the roulette wheel. Even though the roulette wheel may not have been a lot of people's favorite events, it was an event. It was a special limited time event that was only here for a certain period of time. In that event, you were able to earn prizes. So prizes like labor potions, which were one of the key items. Also, other prizes that you can see this same exact thing happen were the lucky scrolls. The lucky scrolls were a drop in this roulette wheel, and they were around like 2 BSLT, 1.5 BSLT, and now they've creeped all the way up to around 3 BSLT for the basic one. actually 4 BSLT for the basic one, and then the green one is creeped all the way up to about 7.5 BSLT, and again that one was also about 2 BSLT during the event, and then the blue one is all the way up to close to 10 BSLT. So when there's an event like that going on, even if the event may not seem like a great event or something that you really would want to do, doesn't seem like a positive EV, expected value, out of the event, the items in there are going to decrease. So labor was in there, Lucky Scrolls was in there. So all these items were being produced freely from the roulette wheel. People did have to pay and gamble, but we do have a lot of gamblers in the community here, and they do gamble away and spin away on the roulette wheel and producing these items, bringing the price down. Labor is a very sensitive subject. The more that you introduce into the game, obviously the price will go down, but there's only a certain amount of labor that can actually be consumed in a day, because you either use it for your housing resources, the Archean machines, or you use it on like coin purses and loot from mobs. And yes, there is kind of an infinite amount of loot from mobs, but the game community has figured out and deciphered that, hey, the only bag that you should really be opening is the Hearthstone bags that only cost 10 labor points. So there's only a max amount of Hearthstone bags that are going to be farmed every single day. Even if people are farming 24/7, there's only going to be, say, a million Hearthstone bags that are farmed every single day per server, because that's just how many spots there are and how fast people can kill mobs and so forth. So there's a certain cap on how much labor can be spent. When that cap is reached, all the excess labor just now pushes the price further down, and it will sit on the auction house, and people will, not be buying it, or they'll just be like, well, I'm going to wait for it to go down. When the price is going up and you're starting to see this rapid incline, which we have seen the last couple of weeks, people are now going to start speculating on the labor too and be like, well, labor prices are going up. I need to buy 100 labor potions. I need to buy 50 labor potions because they're going to be more expensive tomorrow. So it feeds into this cycle of momentum. Momentum going down will push the price even further down, and then momentum going up will push the price further up. Also, if we do get new content or new items that consume labor, the price of labor will skyrocket, because right now we're kind of at this 3.5 price points, and this is kind of where the labor market is settled at. Like, the excess labor that was here is starting to dry up. You see on the auction house, there's not many big quantities. When there was an excess amount of labor, you would see stacks of like 50 labor potions up for sale, or 25 labor potions up for sale, or even 100 labor potions up for sale. There was just too much labor in the game to be consumed in the day of farming and resources that are needed in the labor. Whereas now you look and you see there's like 5, there's 3, there's 2, there's 1. You don't see these massive stacks of labor anymore, because all that labor has been consumed and used, or potentially bought up by speculators who are holding lots and lots of labor, which is a possibility. Someone could be sitting on, 5,000 labor potions in their inventory. I know personally myself, I have like 500 labor potions, but that was just from my houses. I didn't really buy that many labor potions as investments. I did pick up a couple as it got down to that 1.5 BSLT price. We did touch on this. We were saying that, under 2 BSLT labor potions was just too damn cheap, and that it was time to start buying them. So we picked up a little bit there, not too many, because there wasn't that many good deals. People said the same idea as me, is, hey, under 2 BSLT, labor potion is cheap. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to hold on to it for a couple of weeks, and then I'm going to, potentially use it or sell it myself. So labor potion price, I do think, will go up to that probably 5 BSLT. We found our first 100 stack of labor right here. So there is 100 labor potions up for sale at 3.5. But other than that, we haven't seen anything really big. There's not much labor potion on the auction house here. So if someone did want to buy a bunch of labor, they are going to be buying a lot of labor and bringing this up to 4, maybe even 5 BSLT. So the big thing is, do we get new content, right? If we get new content before we get an event, this could be very, very dangerous for the labor market. If new content requires more labor to consume, these prices will skyrocket. if we get an event that drops the like labor potion or gives out labor, then the labor price will slowly decline again. It's not instantaneous, but this is the difference, right? So an event will slowly decline the labor price, but a new event that consumes a lot of labor will skyrocket the labor potion, because there is a massive change. Like, an event that consumes 1,000 labor or 2,000 labor per day is a massive change for every single player. Whereas if labor potions are introduced in some kind of event, the event is not going to be free. That is something they've never done. They've never really done a free event here in Archeworld. So it's always going to consume, like, buy this or buy that, or do this and farm this and then buy a token off of the shop. So these events don't dramatically introduce thousands upon thousands of labor potions right away. It's a slow and steady climb of labor being introduced, because you got a couple of whales who are spinning every day. For like the roulette, there was a cap of 100 spins, and so you had a couple whales who would spin 100 times every single day, and they would slowly introduce 10 labor points, 20 labor potions each day, because that's how many they got, and whether they sold them or kept them was up to them. And yeah, the labor doesn't like magically just drop down to 1.5 right away. It just doesn't happen. But we definitely could see the labor potion price spike all the way up to, say, like 5 or 6 or 7 BSLT if we get a new event that's consuming a lot of labor. One of the biggest things that I'll cite is back on Asia, when they did a coin purse event, the labor potion price went from like 3 to 4 BSLT all the way up to 10 BSLT in less than 12 hours. So you can see a massive spike is definitely possible, and why I do think that labor is even still a potential good investment right now. But to get labor, I'd rather just go rent out small houses, which are way better as the labor price increases. So crunch your numbers, do your math, do your own research, but my thoughts are, if you want labor, go rent the small lands. Medium lands are great as well, but not as great for labor, but they still will generate you more profit, but they cost a little bit more to set up. But yeah, small lands are great and getting better and better by the day as labor potion prices go up and up and up, and I do think that this will continue. So let me know in the comments, do you think I'm wrong? Do you think I'm right? What do you think about the labor market? Are you happy? Are you dissatisfied with labor prices going up? Do you think they're going to go down? Do you want them to be cheaper? Love to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comment section down below, and I will talk to you guys later.